Doctors are now warning, if you're over 60, these 10 common foods could be silently damaging your body. The worst part? You're probably eating at least one of them every single day without realizing the harm it's doing. Think about this. You wake up in the morning, pour yourself a cup of coffee, maybe grab a slice of toast or a bowl of cereal. You're just following your daily routine, right? But what if I told you that certain everyday foods could be speeding up aging, increasing your risk of heart disease, weakening your bones, and even impairing your memory? As we age, our metabolism slows down, our immune system weakens, and our bodies become more sensitive to the foods we eat. What might have been harmless in your 30s or 40s can now be a silent trigger for inflammation, weight gain, high blood pressure, and even life-threatening conditions like diabetes and heart disease. The good news? Knowledge is power. If you know which foods to avoid, you can take control of your health, prevent disease, and add more vibrant, active years to your life. In this video, we're counting down the 10 most dangerous foods that seniors should avoid at all costs. And trust me, some of these will surprise you. Number 3 is something almost everyone eats for breakfast, every single day. And number 1, it's a hidden danger that might already be sitting in your fridge or pantry right now. Before we begin, take a moment and think, are there any foods you've been eating regularly that might not be as healthy as you thought? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more essential health tips. Every year, millions of seniors suffer from preventable health conditions, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and even cognitive decline. What if I told you that some of the foods you eat every single day might be silently contributing to these problems? According to the American Heart Association, nearly 70% of adults over 60 have high blood pressure, and diet is one of the leading causes. The National Institute on Aging also warns that certain foods accelerate aging, increase inflammation, and weaken the immune system, making seniors more vulnerable to chronic illnesses. The truth is, many of us trust food labels, believing phrases like low-fat, heart-healthy, or sugar-free mean something is good for us. But in reality, some of these so-called healthy foods are actually the worst offenders when it comes to harming your body. A recent study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, found that seniors who consume high amounts of processed foods are 30% more likely to suffer from cognitive decline compared to those who eat fresh, whole foods. Another report by Harvard Medical School warns that excessive sugar consumption, especially hidden sugars found in common grocery store items, can significantly increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Think about this. Have you or someone you love ever been told by a doctor to cut back on salt, watch your cholesterol, or eat fewer processed foods? Most of the time, we nod and agree. But do we really know why these warnings matter so much? Or worse, could we be unknowingly eating something we think is healthy, but is actually doing more harm than good? At number 10, we have processed meats, things like bacon, sausages, ham, hot dogs, and deli meats. They might be convenient, but they could be quietly damaging your heart, raising your blood pressure, and even increasing your risk of cancer. You see, not all meats are created equal. While fresh, unprocessed meats provide essential protein, processed meats are filled with preservatives, nitrates, and excessive salt, all of which have serious consequences for seniors over 60. But why does this matter so much for older adults? As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to high sodium levels, artificial preservatives, and unhealthy fats. These ingredients can trigger inflammation, worsen arthritis pain, and even increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Take Linda, for example. She's 68 years old, and for years, she's been eating turkey sandwiches for lunch, thinking it's a healthier option. But what she didn't realize was that those deli slices were loaded with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives, ingredients that raise blood pressure, increase the risk of heart disease, and even contribute to stomach cancer. And it's not just the salt. The nitrates and nitrites in processed meats are converted into carcinogenic compounds in the body, which may increase the risk of colorectal cancer. The World Health Organization, WHO, has classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means there is strong evidence that these foods can cause cancer. similar to smoking or asbestos exposure. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't eat bacon every day, but processed meats aren't just found in bacon or hot dogs. They're hidden in prepackaged deli meats, sausages, and even some canned meats. And for seniors, the risk is even higher because the body becomes less efficient at processing harmful chemicals as we age. Sodium is another major issue. Seniors with high blood pressure should be especially cautious because processed meats are one of the biggest contributors to excessive sodium intake. Too much salt forces the heart to work harder, leading to heart disease, kidney issues, and even stroke. Bob, a 72-year-old retiree, thought he was doing everything right. He exercised, took his medications, and avoided junk food. But what he didn't realize was that his daily ham and cheese sandwich was pushing his sodium intake over the limit every single day. After cutting out deli meats, his blood pressure dropped by 10 points in just 1 month. Small changes can make a huge difference in your health. So what's the alternative? If you want to protect your heart, lower inflammation, and reduce cancer risk, here are some better choices. Swap deli meats for freshly cooked chicken or turkey, canned tuna or salmon, low sodium, eggs or plant-based proteins like beans and lentils, homemade grilled meats without preservatives. Linda took the advice of her doctor and started using freshly cooked turkey breast instead of processed deli meat. The results? Lower blood pressure, more energy, and peace of mind knowing she's making a healthier choice. Here's the bottom line. If you're over 60, cutting out processed meats can significantly lower your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even cancer. You don't have to give up meat altogether, but choosing fresh, unprocessed options is one of the easiest ways to protect your health. Coming in at number 9, we have sugary drinks and diet sodas, 2 beverages that may be doing more harm to your body than you realize. Many seniors assume that switching to diet soda is a smart choice, but what if I told you that both regular and diet sodas can lead to serious health problems, including diabetes, heart disease, and even memory loss? Sugary drinks, including sodas, fruit juices, sports drinks, and even some healthy, flavored waters, are packed with added sugars that cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. These spikes force your pancreas to work harder, producing more insulin. Over time, this increases your risk of type 2 diabetes, obesity, and metabolic disorders. Remember Bob. He went for a health check and was waiting at his doctor's office. The doctor looks at his chart, then at Bob with a concerned expression. He said, "Bob, your blood sugar levels are dangerously high. Have you been drinking a lot of sodas or sweetened beverages?" Bob, looking puzzled, shakes his head and replies, "But Doc, I switched to diet soda months ago. I thought that would help me cut out sugar." Bob isn't alone in this belief. Millions of seniors fall into the same trap, thinking that sugar-free diet sodas are a healthier choice. But what they don't realize is that diet sodas come with their own set of health risks. Many diet sodas contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, chemicals that have been linked to weight gain, digestive issues, and even memory problems. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who consumed 1 or more diet sodas daily had 3 times the risk of stroke and dementia compared to those who didn't. That means your diet soda could be harming your brain. Artificial sweeteners trick your brain into thinking it's consuming sugar, leading to increased cravings and even weight gain. That's right. Diet soda can actually make you gain weight instead of helping you lose it. Did you know that drinking just 1 sugary soda per day can accelerate aging at a cellular level? Researchers from the University of California, San Francisco found that people who regularly drink sugary beverages have shorter telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of your DNA. Shorter telomeres are linked to faster aging and an increased risk of chronic diseases. This means that something as simple as cutting out sodas and sugary drinks could actually slow down the aging process and extend your lifespan. But wait, it's not just soda that's the problem. Many so-called healthy drinks like fruit juices, sweetened iced teas, and energy drinks are packed with just as much, if not more, sugar than soda. For example, a 12-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 33 grams of sugar. That's almost as much as a can of Coca-Cola. So what's the alternative? If you want to stay hydrated, protect your brain, and support your overall health, here are some better beverage choices. Water with lemon or cucumber, refreshing and detoxifying. Herbal teas, helps digestion and relaxation. Unsweetened almond or coconut milk, great dairy alternative. Homemade fruit-infused water, adds natural flavor without sugar. Green tea, loaded with antioxidants for brain health. After switching to homemade iced tea and lemon water, Bob started feeling more energized, his blood sugar stabilized, and his cravings for sweets disappeared. Sometimes small changes lead to big results. Here's the bottom line. If you want to protect your heart, brain, and overall health, cutting out sugary drinks and diet sodas is one of the easiest and most effective changes you can make. You don't need sugary drinks to stay hydrated. Water and herbal teas are the best choices for long-term health. At number 8, we have margarine and hydrogenated oils, a so-called healthy alternative to butter that's been secretly harming people for decades. If you're still using margarine or vegetable shortening, you might want to think twice, because these artificial fats increase your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even dementia. But wait, you might be wondering, I thought margarine was supposed to be better than butter? That's exactly what food companies wanted you to believe. Let's take Mary, whose doctor just recently revealed to her that her cholesterol levels are dangerously high. He asked her if she has been eating a lot of processed foods or using margarine. Mary replied, "But doctor, I haven't been eating junk food. I switched to margarine because I thought it was better for my heart." Mary isn't alone. Millions of seniors have been misled into believing margarine is a healthy choice, when in reality, it's filled with dangerous trans fats that can clog arteries, raise bad cholesterol, and increase inflammation in the body. Margarine and hydrogenated oils are packed with trans fats, which are scientifically proven to be one of the worst things for your heart. In fact, the World Health Organization, WHO, has called for a global ban on trans fats because of their role in causing heart disease and early death. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming trans fats increases the risk of heart disease by 34% and stroke by 21%. These fats not only raise bad LDL cholesterol, but also lower good HDL cholesterol, making them even more dangerous. But it's not just your heart that's at risk. Did you know that trans fats can damage your brain and even increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease? A study published in the Neurology Journal found that seniors who consumed the highest amounts of trans fats were 75% more likely to develop dementia. That means every time you use margarine or eat processed foods with hydrogenated oils, you could be damaging your brain cells and speeding up cognitive decline. You might think, well, I don't eat margarine, so I'm safe. But trans fats and hydrogenated oils are hidden in more foods than you realize. They're found in margarine and vegetable shortening, store-bought pastries and baked goods, microwave popcorn, fried fast food, French fries, fried chicken, coffee creamers, packaged cookies and crackers. Even if a label says 0 grams of trans fat, that doesn't mean it's safe. Food companies can legally claim 0 trans fats if the amount per serving is under 0.5 grams. But if you eat multiple servings, those hidden trans fats quickly add up. So what's the better choice? If you want to protect your heart, brain, and overall health, switch to these natural, heart-healthy fats instead. Extra virgin olive oil supports heart health and fights inflammation. Avocado oil, great for cooking at high temperatures. Real butter, in moderation, provides healthy saturated fats without trans fats. Nut butters, packed with healthy fats and nutrients. Mary made one simple change. She switched margarine for real butter and olive oil. Within months, her cholesterol dropped naturally and her energy levels improved dramatically. Sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference. If you're over 60, cutting out margarine and hydrogenated oils is one of the smartest things you can do for your health. Not only will it protect your heart, but it could also reduce inflammation, improve brain function, and lower your risk of chronic disease. Are you still using margarine? Let me know in the comments. And if you're learning something new, don't forget to like and subscribe for more health tips. Coming in at number 7, we have white bread and refined carbohydrates, foods that might seem harmless but are actually some of the biggest culprits behind weight gain, diabetes, and even memory loss. If you eat white bread, white rice, pasta, or pastries regularly, you may be unknowingly damaging your health. But what makes refined carbs so dangerous? The problem is how quickly they turn into sugar in your body. Within minutes of eating white bread, your blood sugar spikes, just like if you had eaten a spoonful of pure sugar. Paul, a 70-year-old grandfather, always started his mornings with toast and jam, a breakfast he had eaten for years. But every afternoon, he felt tired, sluggish, and mentally foggy. He thought it was just part of getting older, but the real problem? His breakfast was setting him up for a blood sugar roller coaster. Every time Paul ate white bread or refined carbs, his blood sugar spiked quickly, giving him a short burst of energy. But just an hour later, his insulin levels skyrocketed, leading to a blood sugar crash, leaving him feeling even more tired, irritable, and hungry. It's not just about energy crashes. Refined carbs can have long-term consequences, especially for seniors. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consume high amounts of white bread and refined carbs have a 40% increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. But here's something even more shocking. Refined carbs don't just affect your waistline. They can also harm your brain. A study from Harvard Medical School found that people who consume high amounts of refined carbohydrates have a higher risk of Alzheimer's disease and memory decline. This is because constant blood sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance in the brain, making it harder for neurons to function properly. In fact, researchers have begun calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes because of its strong link to insulin resistance and high blood sugar levels. That means if you want to protect your brain as you age, one of the best things you can do is cut back on refined carbs. You might think, I don't eat that much white bread, so I'm safe. But refined carbohydrates are hiding in more foods than you realize. Common sources of refined carbs include white bread and bagels, white rice and pasta, sugary breakfast cereals, packaged pastries and cookies, instant noodles and processed snacks. And don't be fooled by labels. Many products claim to be whole grain or multigrain, but if they're made with enriched flour or refined grains, they can still cause blood sugar spikes. So what's the better choice? If you want to protect your brain, stabilize your blood sugar, and keep your energy levels steady, switch to these nutrient-rich, fiber-filled alternatives instead. Examples of healthy carb swaps include 100% whole grain or sprouted grain bread, rich in fiber and stabilizes blood sugar, quinoa instead of white rice, higher in protein and nutrients, steel-cut oats instead of sugary cereals provides slow-releasing energy, sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes, more fiber, vitamins, and minerals. After switching to whole grain toast and adding protein to his breakfast, Paul noticed a huge improvement in his energy levels. No more afternoon crashes, just steady energy, better focus, and more balanced blood sugar. Here's the bottom line. If you're over 60, cutting back on white bread and refined carbs is one of the easiest ways to improve your health. You'll reduce your risk of diabetes, protect your brain, and feel more energized throughout the day. At number 6, we have canned soups and instant noodles, two of the most deceptively unhealthy foods on grocery store shelves. Many seniors believe they're choosing a quick and easy meal, but what they don't realize is that these foods are loaded with hidden sodium, harmful preservatives, and artificial additives that can wreak havoc on your blood pressure, kidneys, and overall health. Take a look at this label. This can of soup says 850 milligrams of sodium per serving, but the can contains 2 servings. That means if you eat the whole can, you're consuming over 1,700 milligrams of sodium, more than 3/4 of daily sodium limit recommended for seniors. And that's just from one meal. Why are canned soups and instant noodles so dangerous? Excess sodium increases blood pressure and stroke risk. Harmful preservatives linked to inflammation and digestive issues. Artificial flavors and MSG can trigger headaches and nerve damage. Many of these products contain monosodium glutamate MSG, a flavor enhancer that can cause headaches, dizziness, and even nerve damage in some individuals. Seniors are especially vulnerable because their bodies process sodium and artificial additives less efficiently as they age. How much sodium is too much? The American Heart Association recommends that adults over 60 limit sodium intake to 1,500 milligrams per day, but just one can of soup or one pack of instant noodles can exceed that limit in a single meal. Look at this comparison. A homemade bowl of soup has just 300 milligrams of sodium, while a pack of instant ramen has over 1,800 milligrams. That's more than an entire day's worth of salt in one sitting. It's not just about blood pressure. Too much sodium can also damage your brain. Studies show that high sodium diets can lead to cognitive decline and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Researchers at Harvard Medical School found that seniors who consume excessive sodium are more likely to experience memory loss and cognitive decline. That means cutting back on salt isn't just good for your heart, it's also essential for keeping your brain sharp. High sodium processed foods to watch out for: canned soups and broths, instant ramen and cup noodles, frozen dinners, canned vegetables with added salt, processed cheese, and salty snacks. Many of these products look harmless, but they're packed with hidden sodium and preservatives. Always check nutrition labels. If a product contains more than 500 milligrams of sodium per serving, it's best to avoid it. So, what's the better choice? If you want to lower your blood pressure, protect your kidneys, and reduce inflammation, switch to these natural homemade alternatives instead. Examples include homemade vegetable or chicken soup, low-sodium broth with fresh ingredients, whole grain pasta with fresh tomato sauce, steamed vegetables instead of canned. If you're over 60, reducing sodium intake can add years to your life. Skip the canned soups and instant noodles and choose fresh, homemade meals instead. Your heart, brain, and kidneys will thank you. At number 5, we have deep-fried foods, one of the most beloved comfort foods out there. From crispy fried chicken to French fries, onion rings, and even fried fish, these foods might taste amazing, but they come with serious health risks, especially for seniors over 60. What if I told you that eating fried foods regularly could increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even premature death? Studies show that fried foods are loaded with harmful trans fats, oxidized oils, and inflammatory compounds that can clog arteries, raise cholesterol, and damage your body from the inside out. Why are fried foods so dangerous? Trans fats clog arteries and raise cholesterol. Oxidized oils cause inflammation and cell damage. Excess calories lead to weight gain and diabetes. A groundbreaking study published in the British Medical Journal, BMJ, found that people who eat fried foods regularly have a 28% higher risk of developing heart disease and a 38% higher risk of stroke. When you eat fried foods, you're bombarding your arteries with unhealthy trans fats and oxidized oils. These fats contribute to plaque buildup in your blood vessels, making it harder for your heart to pump blood. Over time, this can lead to high blood pressure, heart attacks, and even strokes. Imagine your arteries like a garden hose. When they're clear, blood flows easily. But when they get clogged with bad cholesterol, the pressure builds up, leading to serious heart complications. One of the biggest problems with fried food is the oil it's cooked in. Many restaurants' food chains reuse cooking oil multiple times, leading to the formation of toxic compounds called aldehydes. These chemicals are linked to inflammation, cancer, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Every time oil is reheated, it becomes more unstable, releasing dangerous free radicals that can damage cells and speed up aging. It's not just your heart that's at risk. Eating too much fried food can also damage your brain. Researchers have found that people who consume high amounts of fried food have a higher risk of developing dementia and cognitive decline. In a study by the Mayo Clinic, seniors who ate fried foods frequently had worse memory, slower thinking, and increased signs of early Alzheimer's. High-risk fried foods to avoid: fried chicken and fast food meals, French fries and onion rings, fried fish and shrimp, potato chips and fried snacks, packaged frozen fried foods. Even if you don't eat fast food often, many frozen and packaged foods are pre-fried and loaded with unhealthy oils. Always check labels and look for foods that are baked instead of fried. So, what's the better choice? If you want to protect your heart, reduce inflammation, and stay healthy, switch to these safer, healthier alternatives. Healthy swaps for fried foods include air-fried chicken instead of deep-fried, baked potato wedges instead of French fries, grilled fish instead of fried fish, homemade kale chips instead of potato chips. Cutting back on fried foods is one of the best ways to improve your health after 60. Your heart, brain, and body will thank you. At number 4, we have artificial sweeteners and sugar substitutes, ingredients marketed as a healthy alternative to sugar, but that may actually be worse for your body. If you use sugar-free sweeteners in your coffee, tea, or diet soda, thinking they're helping you lose weight or control blood sugar, you might be in for a shocking surprise. What if I told you that some of these so-called safe sweeteners have been linked to memory loss, insulin resistance, digestive problems, and even an increased risk of stroke? Let's break down the truth behind artificial sweeteners and why they could be silently harming your health. I've been using sugar-free sweeteners for months, but I still can't seem to lose weight. I thought they were supposed to help. Remember, Linda, like millions of seniors, believed the promise of zero-calorie sweeteners, but what she didn't realize was that these artificial sugars were actually making her hungrier, slowing her metabolism and triggering cravings for real sugar. Why are artificial sweeteners so dangerous? Trigger sugar cravings, leads to overeating and weight gain. Disrupt gut bacteria, causes digestive issues and inflammation. Linked to stroke and dementia, increases risk of cognitive decline. Most people assume that because artificial sweeteners have 0 calories, they must be better for weight loss. But research shows that they actually trick your brain into thinking you've consumed sugar, leading to stronger cravings and increased hunger. Studies have found that consuming artificial sweeteners daily can actually increase insulin resistance, making it harder for people with diabetes to manage their blood sugar levels. A study published in Nature Journal found that artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose can disrupt the body's ability to regulate blood sugar, leading to a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. That means that if you're drinking diet sodas or using sugar-free products thinking they help with blood sugar control, you might actually be making the problem worse. It's not just your metabolism that's affected. Artificial sweeteners have also been linked to memory problems and cognitive decline. A study published in the Alzheimer's and Dementia Journal found that seniors who drank diet soda daily had a 3 times higher risk of stroke and dementia. Researchers believe that artificial sweeteners may disrupt brain cell communication, leading to faster cognitive decline. That means that if you're trying to protect your memory as you age, one of the best things you can do is cut back on artificial sweeteners immediately. Common products that contain artificial sweeteners: diet sodas and sugar-free drinks, low-calorie flavored yogurts, sugar-free gum and mints, light, salad dressings and condiments, packaged protein bars and shakes. Many of these sugar-free or low-calorie products actually contain artificial sweeteners, which can do more harm than good. Always check labels. If you see ingredients like aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, or acesulfame potassium, it's best to avoid them. So what's the better choice? If you want to satisfy your sweet tooth without harming your health, here are some natural alternatives. Healthier sweetener swaps: raw honey, natural and full of antioxidants; stevia in moderation; plant-based and doesn't spike blood sugar; pure maple syrup, contains minerals and is less processed; coconut sugar, lower glycemic index than white sugar. Linda switched from artificial sweeteners to natural honey, and within weeks she noticed fewer cravings, better digestion, and improved energy levels. Small changes can make a big difference. If you're over 60, artificial sweeteners can do more harm than good. Instead of relying on sugar-free products, switch to natural sweeteners in moderation and focus on a whole food, balanced diet. At number 3, we have breakfast cereals and granola bars, 2 foods that have been marketed as healthy options for decades. But the truth? Most of these so-called healthy choices are actually loaded with hidden sugars, processed ingredients, and artificial additives that can spike blood sugar, cause weight gain, and even contribute to heart disease. Let's take Judy, a 69-year-old grandmother who always started her day with a bowl of cereal and a granola bar as a quick snack. She believed she was making a smart choice. After all, the box said whole grain and low fat. But every morning, just an hour later, she felt drained, tired, and craving something sweet. What Judy didn't realize was that her healthy breakfast choices were sending her blood sugar on a roller coaster ride, spiking quickly and then crashing hard. This cycle led to constant fatigue, sugar cravings, and even weight gain. Why are these breakfast foods so dangerous? Loaded with hidden sugars, causes blood sugar spikes and crashes. Processed carbs, increases risk of diabetes and heart disease. Artificial ingredients and preservatives, linked to inflammation and digestive issues. A study from Harvard Medical School found that people who regularly consume sugary breakfast cereals have a 32% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The reason? Excessive sugar intake combined with processed carbs leads to insulin resistance over time. The problem isn't just the sugar, it's also the portion sizes. Many cereals list a tiny serving size, but let's be honest, who actually eats just half a cup of cereal? Most people pour double or even triple the amount, unknowingly consuming over 30 grams of sugar in one sitting. For seniors, this constant blood sugar fluctuation is dangerous. It can lead to insulin resistance, increased belly fat, and a higher risk of cognitive decline. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that seniors who consume high amounts of added sugar are more likely to develop memory problems and early signs of dementia. And it's not just cereal. Granola bars are another sneaky culprit. Many seniors grab them as a healthy on-the-go snack, but in reality, most are just candy bars in disguise. Would you be shocked to learn that some granola bars contain almost as much sugar as a candy bar? Even worse, some are made with hydrogenated oils and artificial sweeteners, which can increase inflammation and cravings. Breakfast foods that contain excess sugar, packaged cereals, even whole grain ones, granola bars and protein bars, instant oatmeal with added flavors, flavored yogurts with fruit syrup, pre-packaged breakfast biscuits. Many brands use misleading labels to make their products sound healthier than they really are. Always check the nutrition label. If sugar is one of the first 3 ingredients, it's best to avoid it. So what's the better choice? If you want to start your day with steady energy and better health, switch to these nutrient-dense breakfast options. Healthier breakfast choices. Steel-cut oats with cinnamon and nuts, Greek yogurt with fresh berries, eggs with avocado toast, homemade granola. Judy swapped her sugary cereal for Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, and within weeks she noticed fewer sugar cravings, more energy, and better digestion. Sometimes a simple change can make a world of difference. The truth is, if you're over 60, high sugar cereals and granola bars are not a healthy breakfast choice. They can lead to blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and memory problems. Instead, focus on whole, unprocessed foods that provide lasting energy. At number 2, we have alcohol and excessive caffeine, 2 of the most socially accepted drinks that many people consume daily. But what if I told you that too much of either can lead to dehydration, increased blood pressure, and even memory problems? Whether it's a nightly glass of wine, a morning cup of coffee, or an afternoon pick-me-up, many seniors unknowingly overconsume alcohol and caffeine, putting their heart, brain, and sleep at risk. George, a retired school teacher, loved starting his day with a strong cup of coffee and winding down in the evening with a glass of wine. But over time, he started having trouble sleeping, feeling more anxious, and waking up exhausted. At first, he didn't make the connection. But what he didn't realize was that his daily coffee and evening drink were working against him, disrupting his sleep, dehydrating his body, and putting extra strain on his heart. Why are these drinks so dangerous? Causes dehydration, leads to joint pain and fatigue, increases blood pressure, raises the risk of heart attack and stroke, disrupts sleep patterns, worsens memory and brain function. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors who regularly consume alcohol and caffeine have a higher risk of hypertension, sleep disturbances, and memory decline. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at metabolizing alcohol. What might have been harmless in your 30s and 40s can now have serious effects on your liver, blood pressure, and cognitive function. Long-term alcohol use has been linked to brain shrinkage, memory loss, and a higher risk of Alzheimer's disease. Now let's talk about caffeine. While 1 or 2 cups of coffee per day can have some benefits, excessive caffeine intake can lead to insomnia, anxiety, and even osteoporosis. Why too much caffeine is harmful for seniors: increases anxiety and jitters, can cause irregular heartbeat, weakens bones, interferes with calcium absorption, increasing fracture risk, dehydrates the body, worsens joint pain and fatigue. Did you know that too much caffeine can actually weaken your bones? Studies show that drinking more than 3 cups of coffee per day can reduce calcium absorption, leading to osteoporosis and a higher risk of fractures. One of the biggest issues with alcohol and caffeine is how they disrupt sleep. Many seniors rely on coffee to stay awake and alcohol to relax, but these habits can actually make sleep problems worse. How alcohol and caffeine affect sleep. Caffeine blocks melatonin, making it harder to fall asleep. Alcohol disrupts REM sleep, leading to poor quality rest. Increases nighttime wake-ups, leaving you exhausted in the morning. Studies have shown that poor sleep is directly linked to memory decline and an increased risk of dementia. That means that cutting back on alcohol and caffeine could actually improve brain function and overall health. So what's the better choice? If you want to protect your heart, sleep better, and keep your bones strong, switch to these healthier beverage options. Herbal tea instead of coffee at night. Decaf coffee instead of regular coffee in the afternoon. Sparkling water with lime instead of alcohol. Golden milk, turmeric latte instead of wine before bed. Limiting alcohol and caffeine can improve your sleep, protect your bones, and reduce your risk of heart disease. Make mindful choices, and your body will thank you. At number 1, we have processed and fast food, the most dangerous foods for seniors. While fast food may be quick, cheap, and tasty, it comes at a high cost to your health. From burgers and fries to frozen dinners, processed meats, and prepackaged snacks, these foods are loaded with trans fats, excessive sodium, and artificial additives that can lead to heart disease, diabetes, and even an increased risk of early death. The question is, how much damage is this food really doing to your body? Let's break it down. Many seniors think saving time and money by choosing processed and fast foods is ideal. But what they don't realize is that these meals are clogging their arteries, increasing inflammation, and contributing to dangerous weight gain. Why are these foods so dangerous? Loaded with trans fats, eventually clogs arteries and increases stroke risk. High sodium content causes high blood pressure and kidney damage. Full of artificial preservatives, leads to inflammation and digestive issues. A study from the British Medical Journal found that people who regularly eat processed fast food have a 31% higher risk of premature death. That means these foods are literally cutting years off your life. The 3 biggest health risks from fast and processed foods include heart disease and stroke, excess fats and sodium strain the heart, type 2 diabetes, refined carbs and sugars spike insulin levels, cognitive decline, preservatives and unhealthy fats damage brain function. One of the biggest dangers of fast food is its high trans fat content. These fats increase bad LDL cholesterol, lower good HDL cholesterol, and lead to hardened arteries. This drastically raises your risk of heart attacks and strokes. Imagine your arteries like a highway. When they're clear, blood flows freely. But when you eat processed foods filled with bad fats, those arteries become narrow and blocked, making it harder for blood to circulate. This can lead to a sudden, fatal heart attack. But it's not just fast food. Many processed foods found in grocery stores are just as harmful. Processed meats like hot dogs, sausages, and deli meats are packed with sodium nitrates and preservatives, which have been directly linked to cancer. The World Health Organization, WHO, has even classified processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning there's strong evidence they cause cancer, just like smoking does. Common processed foods to avoid include fast food burgers, fries, and pizza, frozen dinners and instant noodles, processed meats, hot dogs, bacon, deli meat, packaged snacks and chips, sugary cereals, and microwavable meals. Many of these foods contain preservatives, artificial dyes, and hidden sugars, all of which can worsen inflammation, slow metabolism, and increase disease risk. So, what's the better choice? If you want to protect your heart, lower inflammation, and stay healthier longer, Switch to these natural home-cooked alternatives. Grilled chicken or fish instead of fast food burgers. Fresh homemade soups instead of canned soups. Lean turkey or plant-based proteins instead of processed meats. Baked sweet potatoes instead of French fries. Avoiding processed and fast foods after 60 is one of the best ways to improve your health and longevity. Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods that support your heart, brain, and overall well-being. We've just covered the 10 most dangerous foods for seniors, foods that could be silently damaging your heart, brain, and overall health. But here's the good news. You have the power to make better choices. Your health isn't just about what you remove from your diet, it's about what you replace it with. By choosing whole, nutrient-dense foods, you can lower your risk of chronic disease, increase your energy, and even add years to your life. Small, daily changes can have a huge impact. Think about the foods you eat every day. Are they fueling your body or slowly harming it? It's never too late to make better choices. 3 simple steps to improve your diet today. Read ingredient labels. Avoid hidden sugars, trans fats, and artificial additives. Cook more at home. Fresh, homemade meals are always the healthier choice. Make gradual changes. Start small by cutting back on processed foods and adding whole, nutrient-rich options. You don't have to change everything overnight. Small, consistent steps will lead to long-term health benefits. Begin by swapping out just one unhealthy habit per week, and over time, you'll see amazing results. You have one body, one life. Take care of it. Your future self will thank you for making better choices today. Every small step you take towards a healthier diet is a step towards a stronger, more vibrant life. Which of these 10 foods surprised you the most? Have you been eating any of them regularly? Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Hit the like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more essential health tips.